Without you guys, this literally does not work. Hopefully, we are live. I'm not seeing it on YouTube at this moment, but it says it is. I'm not seeing a green label. If you're there live, let me know. It's been a busy week. You know what a difference a week makes. I'm actually sitting here at my in-laws' house, and this is my father-in-law, Poppy. Let me see if I see anybody. Oh, there we go. Devin Frost, how are you doing? Brilliant. How you doing? Steve, what's going on, everybody? Man, it has been a crazy week. Just think about where we were just a week ago, friends. Just a week ago. We were sitting here hearing that Jason Garrett was basically at work and was still doing exit interviews with players and things. They were even having rumors about him basically lobbying for the job. We heard that the Cowboys may end up interviewing coaches, and if they didn't find somebody who they thought was better than Jason Garrett, they would sign him for one more year and revisit us in a year from now. It has been crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. Then Saturday morning, we hear Marvin Lewis. Okay, Marvin Lewis was coming in for an interview. Then we found out he was actually in on Friday. And then they kept him overnight until Saturday. Then we heard Mike McCarthy was coming in. Mike McCarthy was coming in Saturday. We find out Sunday he spent the night. And then all of a sudden we heard that he was staying another night. So let's see if we got this right. We went from Jason Garrett, the season ending, Jason Garrett doing exit interviews, having not one but two meetings with Jerry Jones, possibly coming back, to Mike McCarthy coming over for a weekend at Jerry's, where he spent the night, Sunday night. And since that time, oh my God, so much has happened. We ended up having channel memberships and stuff. And let me, I'll wait till we get some more people up in here. Man, this week has been crazy. So as we've gone through, and we'll get to Mike McCarthy and all that, Mike Fisher's reporting that Jason Garrett was getting text messages, or is getting text messages from players that are basically saying F off. So much for the Jason Garrett kind of guys. Let me know how the sound is. Jobu Sports Report, Bobby Ice, I'm on the road here with my father-in-law and stuff like that. We're having an extra great time getting their house and stuff set up and taking care of some businesses up, because in a week and a half, I know it doesn't pertain to us too much, but if you want to still see coverage like you get no place else from the Super Bowl, here it is. I'm going to be giving you the sights and sounds of Florida, of Miami and everything else as we do the Super Bowl, Jobu Sports style. There'll be thousands of reporters and stuff there, but I can guarantee you none of it will be like what you see here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and things. So shout out Zeppelin fan, man. How you doing, man? Zeppelin, your stuff I think I addressed and got in the mail today. Akeem Smith, I know yours is in the mail. Chad Sweeten, Ronnie Thomas, Byron Wan, 105.3 The Fan. Okay. Benjamin, how are you doing? So I'm going to do this now, because you know what? It is glorious where we are right now. It is time to get your shot glass ready. And listen, I'm not promoting alcohol. Get your favorite beverage on, okay? I'm just going to go ahead, because I just happen to like my room. I'm going to set this right here. But you guys, get your shot glass ready. Not playing? Nope. Not playing. Oops. Wrong thing. Oops. Wrong clip. Let's try that again. One more time. Bam. man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the support from you guys and things like that. So if you, when you get your shot glass, send me your picture. Send me your picture. Email it to me to cowboysmark94 Gmail. Let me go ahead and put that right up on there. Boom, it's right there. Send me the picture and stuff so that way I can share it and everything else. I appreciate all of the new members and things. I've got out another 30 shot glasses. I think I sent out 5 of the shot glass racks and stuff, so I appreciate all that. All that stuff is helping to make life a little easier. You know, like when I am being on the road and being over here, I'm working on getting some equipment that's really going to be able to take this channel to another level. So what are your thoughts, guys, with Jason Garrett? Basically, is my shot glass in the mail yet? I think it is, Jake. Jacob, did you send me an email? Some of that takes about 2 or 3 days, so it may be that it's kind of in the mix there. But if you haven't gotten it, send me an email and I can check on the tracking for you. Ethan, thanks for becoming a member, man. I don't have my echo system, so any super chats I get tonight, I can't give you like the spooky voice. But, you know, so we ended up getting Jalen Smith and added to the Pro Bowl, along with Amari Cooper. And we'll get to Amari Cooper in a little bit. The question is Dak Prescott deserving of being in the Pro Bowl? See, my pet peeve is this. I am sick and tired of the whole Carson Wentz thing, because Carson Wentz, it seems like he can't do anything wrong. I mean, seriously, no matter what happens, somebody else is to blame or it's a good thing. Understand, it's the polar opposite for Dak Prescott. His numbers go down. Well, his numbers are actually better than what they appear because his receivers can't catch. Do you know that the Dallas Cowboys had more drop passes than the Eagles this year? Do you? But they don't say that, do they? The Cowboys were second in the NFL in drop passes. And Dak Prescott still had 4,902 yards, 1 yard from Tony Romo's all-time season record. So Carson Wentz's numbers are kind of down, and they say, well, it's because of receivers. He's got nobody to throw to. What is Zach Ertz? Now that the Gronk is gone, I believe Zach Ertz is the best tight end in football. Am I wrong on that? Because I think he's pretty good to throw at. I think he's pretty good. Dallas Gephardt's not a bad dude to throw at either. I'm not saying that he's got great wide receivers, but in comparison to what we have for tight ends, that's pretty good. That's really good. So they changed that up. When Dak Prescott regressed and he was only throwing like 6.8 yards per pass, you know, they said dink and dunk. Dak Prescott, come on, man. Skip. Dak Prescott, he's just a dink and dunker. He can't get the ball down the field. You know, he just, you know, he's okay with people around him, but he's a dink and dunker. And what they would say is, he got to have people around him to be successful. They knocked him. He's not a franchise quarterback. He can't get the ball to people and make them better around him. Carson Wentz, they say, hey, he's got nobody to throw to. And this is the one that kills me is, now that Dak Prescott has 4,902 yards, as I said, now they came up with that new term. A lot of his yards are garbage time yards. So they don't really count. This is the same kind of crap that they tried to sell you last year when they were talking about Carson Wentz's numbers are better than Dak Prescott if you take out the rookie season. Why are we taking out the rookie season? Because Carson Wentz, it was his rookie season. So it shouldn't count. It was bad. Oh, because Dax was good, you can't count that? So he's been good all of them? And we're saying don't count one of them that he was rookie of the year? Okay, I got it. Okay. Dak Prescott is not the franchise quarterback. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Stephen Jones apparently thinks that he is. Says that the contract was close. It was close. He said, but now we're going to work on landing the plane. He's like, we're going to bring this thing home. He's our franchise quarterback. And here's a little tad bit for all you guys that say Dak sucks, that Dak is trash, that Dak is not the franchise quarterback, that we need to go get Tom Brady, a guy who's 43 years old next year. Mike McCarthy had a choice, actually. There was a couple teams that won him last year. He decided, instead of going to places like Cleveland, I'm going to wait. I'm going to reevaluate myself. I'm going to wait for the right situation to get there. He loves Dak Prescott. Now, I know he's worked with nobody, so, having Dak Prescott has got to be a great quarterback. I mean, he's only worked with Joe Montana. Let's see. Brett Favre. Oh, he won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know how it goes that everybody assumes that a player is just going to be great because they're a great player. So they just show up. They don't get coached. But I believe when Aaron Rodgers got there, Mike McCarthy was already there. He sat Aaron Rodgers' butt on the bench and taught Aaron Rodgers. The question you have to ask is, if the Green Bay Packers had Jason Garrett as a head coach, do you think Aaron Rodgers would still be the same guy? Ask yourself that honestly. You don't want no old-ass quarterback. Shout out to you, Milky Films Gaming. Leadership is underrated. Oh, it is definitely underrated. Just sent you an email about my shot glass. Okay, Garrett, I'll check on it. Thanks. Why hasn't Dak gotten paid yet? Hey, the Cowboys are trying to milk it for as much as they can. I mean, are you in a hurry to pay your bills? If you can wait and save a little bit of money, will you do that yourself? Or you say, let me go ahead and pay it up early so that way it'll cost me more money. I don't mind. Here you go. They did the same thing with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson literally had to put a gun to Seattle's head and said, if you do not pay me by April 15th, I will never sign a long-term deal. Bottom line. Dak, on the other hand, is like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and work on me, make sure I'm the best player that I can be, and I'm going to go from there. The contract will take care of itself. And that's the way he went about it. So the Cowboys knew there's nothing. Hey, we got him. He's not going to pull a Zeke Elliott and hold out for more money and screw the season up. He's not going to wait to get shoulder surgery like D-Law, and put a gun to our head. He's doing things the right way, and we'll take care of him when we take care of him. And I think in the end, it's going to be good for everybody. Jet D in the house. What's happening, Jet? How are you doing tonight, man? Thomas Garrett, how you doing, man? It's on its way, man. Hey, Mark, who's that? Oh, that's my father-in-law, Poppy. I'm in his house. And I better not be too loud or I might get kicked out of his house. Now, back to Dak Prescott. The guys who say, he's not that good. Even though his numbers were way up there, we know that it was just trash yards and he just had great people to throw to. So, in fact, he didn't actually throw the passes to Amari Cooper and things. Those guys threw the passes to themselves. Dak was just back there. That's just the way it worked. Dak didn't do anything. He's not Aaron Rodgers. See, unfortunately, a lot of you guys out there who don't really understand football figure that the only thing you have to have is a quarterback. If you got a great quarterback skill, you don't need nobody else. You can go ahead. I can. If you got a great quarterback, I can play offensive line for you. No, that's how good a quarterback is supposed to be, right? Because that's the way it is. Because I keep hearing people say, well, Josh Allen beat Dak Prescott. Well, Dak and him didn't actually play each other head to head. It was not, Dak versus Josh Allen right here. It was Dak against their defense. It was Josh Allen against our defense. And if you think that our defense was good, it wasn't. And let's not even talk about our special teams that were atrocious. But immediately, you guys go and say, Dak's garbage. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers wills his team to win like he did against the Philadelphia Eagles this year. It was the fourth quarter. They had a drive. He gets down there. He throws an interception in the end zone because, see, he's a great quarterback. He elevated his team to the victory. Oh, wait, they lost. Didn't they? So, as you get guys like Aaron Rodgers, okay, I know Dak is not Aaron Rodgers, the bad man. Because Aaron Rodgers, his season, 4,002 yards, 26 TDs, 4 interceptions, 62% completions. 7 yards per pass per average, a QBR of 53.5. Junebug, what's happening, man? Or Junebug, it shows immaturity. It also might show some real hate towards Jason Garrett as well. And his rating was 95.4 with 36 sacks. That's the bad man. That's the guy that everybody said is head and shoulders above the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, I mean. If only we had an Aaron Rodgers, we'd win the Super Bowl every year. Because Dak only had 4,902 yards, only 900 yards more than Aaron Rodgers. He only had 30 TDs. You know, that's nothing like Aaron Rodgers' 26. Even though there were 4 that were called back by the officials for TD passes to Randall Cobb, who, by the way, I think you can pretty much say, you can mark him down, he'll be back. Hunker down, he'll be safe. Oh, shout out, I'm sorry, I forgot. Hey, everybody down there in Dallas, thoughts and prayers, man. Keep your heads down. Listen to those warnings and stuff on the tornadoes. Hope you guys pass up to George. Oh, Aaron Rodgers slipped in the draft. He was like 24th in the pick. Waiting on the weather to hit us next. Junebug, man. Keep safe down there, dog. You sell it like Jerry does, and the fans buy it. Dak versus Jet D. Not against Donald. Nice spot on it, Mark. So, Q, keep your head down, too. Midnight there. Yeah, those some bad storms. I know they're going to be coming up our way. They're just calling for 50-mile-an-hour winds, I think, on Sunday. James, you can go ahead and say, well, what did it do for Dak? Well, you know what didn't do for Dak? The fact that we had the worst kicker in football. We literally lost games because of our kicker. We were 1-6 in one-score games. Our defense gave up 4.6 yards up the gut and couldn't take away. I mean, you know, they couldn't take a football away from a $5 hooker. They literally could not get turnover. You had individual players that had more interceptions than the Dallas Cowboys team. They went 7 weeks without an interception. Byron Jones has not had a takeaway in 39 games. Our special teams in almost every single category was dead last. In games like the Rams, had Dak Prescott not led the team on a 90-yard and a 97-yard drive back-to-back, they wouldn't have won those games. And let me put out there, too, that we had probably the worst coaching staff in the NFL as far as innovation goes with Jason Garrett. Had our defense had a stop or two, if our offense didn't have to score 31 points basically to win every game, maybe we would have won a few. And maybe if we weren't starting on our 3-yard line most of the drives, we might have done a little bit better. You can't put all that on the quarterback. It's not like he was Carson Wentz, who fumbles the ball all over the place, has like 46 fumbles in 4 years. So pump the brakes on hating on my quarterback. Back to these numbers. The only spot that Aaron Rodgers is clearly better than Dak was last year was he only had 4 interceptions, Dak had 11. But completion percentage, Dak was 65.1, 3.1% higher. Yards per average, 8.2. That's 1.2 yards more than Aaron Rodgers. His QBR, Dak's was 71.2, 17.7 points higher. And if you go by rating, 99.7 for Dak versus 95. That's the numbers. And you could say, oh, well, you know, no, that's the numbers. And I don't care how you put it. Those numbers are Aaron Rodgers like. Aaron Rodgers had a better team around him as far as the defense and special teams went. And that was the difference. L4G, custom fabrication. And that's where I look at this and say, Jason Garrett didn't develop a single quarterback. Dak Prescott did not have a chance to get screwed over by Jason Garrett. Dak Prescott came here, had 1 rep in OTAs a day. 1 rep a day. Kellen Moore breaks his ankle. All of a sudden now he's getting a few reps because he's now the backup, and Tony Romo is taking the preseason off until that fatal game against Seattle. And now all of a sudden Dak is flushed into the limelight. They didn't have a chance to mess up his game. Because when you think about this, I want you to think about this now. Jason Garrett has won 1 game without either Dak Prescott or Tony Romo. Dak Prescott, by the way, has not missed a game in 4 years. Nobody made it through 3 years without being injured as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Keep that in mind. He stays on the field. He keeps fighting. He's got 14 comeback victories. Unfortunately, this year, we just couldn't win the close ones. When your defense gives up the points that they are, when your special team is missing field goals, it changes the complexion of games. And when you have Jason Garrett, sometimes you look at things that we're doing one week that are working fantastic, you go completely away from it. Now, let's see what happens with Mike McCarthy, who has experience, knows a little bit more about offense, and I think is going to make this team a lot better. And, Junebug, you are correct. Let me see. Brad Wright, Mark is just stating true facts. Oh, I got haters, I know. Say what, Mark Holmes? 1 game for Garrett? 1 game for Garrett? What are you talking about? Dak needs $40 million. Garrett sabotaged Phillips. I believe that too. I've always said that. And the thing for me was, when they got rid of Wade Phillips, I wanted to get rid of Jason Garrett then too, because I looked at this and said, listen, Jason Garrett's got no experience. That's not to say that down the road he might not be a really good quarterback, but here's the thing. He had 1 year being a quarterback coach. 1 year. Then he came to the Cowboys, and everything for the Cowboys has always been the exact same thing. We're going back. We're running the offense from the 90s. And the question is, was Jason Garrett held back because of Jerry Jones? Or was it that Jason Garrett really didn't have the wherewithal? He didn't have the experience. Now, one thing you can say right now, that there's no guarantee that with Mike McCarthy here that it's going to work. But I can tell you one thing. The staff that he has a lot of experience. I mean, to get Joe Philbin, who was head coach for the Dolphins, not very successful, but nobody's been very successful with the Dolphins since Don Shula, let's be honest. Even Jimmy Johnson didn't do that well with the Miami Dolphins. It's just one of those franchises now that you just can't get right. You know, you look at the Cleveland Browns, they just can't get right. The Redskins, well, the Redskins kill coaches and quarterbacks' careers. But you've got him, a guy who's been a head coach, now is your offensive line coach. You've got Mike Nolan, who was part of the Baltimore Ravens defense, who was part of the defensive coordinator for the Ravens defense in the 2002-2004 season. He was also linebacker coach. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you look at linebackers from New Orleans, the way they played downhill versus the way our linebackers played. Yes, baby. Oh, okay. My beautiful bride is over here looking at me. I was wondering if I'm talking too loud.
At this point, I'm your wife.
Huh?
Bride is for newlyweds. I'm your wife.
But, honey, it's new every day. It's just like we just got married, honey.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? It is.
Like
Skip. Come on, Skip. Are you serving up hot L's up in here? My wife up here serving up hot L's up in this place. Yes, that's my father-in-law, Poppy. He's just shaking his head at me and like, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but keep doing it. But Jerry doesn't step on Mike. And see, that's where I actually like this, because I was worried that Jerry was going to go for a college coach, go for the name and all that. Lincoln Riley. Everybody's talking about Lincoln Riley. But you notice that Lincoln Riley hasn't interviewed for nobody? Nobody. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, he is 0-3 in the playoffs. 0-3. It's like we already got that guy. Urban Meyer? Nope. It seems like everybody went for experienced coaches. Now, for all you guys out there that said, man, you know what? The Cowboys, they should have gotten some sizzle. They didn't do a good pick. Then tell me, who's your pick? Who's your pick? Because I get tired of people always saying, well, Dak sucks, we need to replace him. Okay, tell me who your replacement is then. If you're going to go ahead and get rid of him, and go ahead and, I know you guys will say Tom Brady, and we talked about Tom Brady yesterday. Tom Brady's numbers weren't exactly that good, but then again, I hear, but Tom Brady's got nobody to throw to. He doesn't have players around him. Tom Brady's got a great defense and great special teams that ended up kicking our butts, and that's why we lost. How long does McCarthy go undefeated AT&T? 4-0? Well, I tell you what. See, here's the thing. Like I said, this year we were 1-6 in one-score games this year. That's atrocious. If we won 2 of those games, we're in the playoffs. And I can point to the Minnesota game. Here's an easy one. Minnesota. Here's 2 games that had these things happen. We have victories, and you say, "Oh, Dak's great." If Money Maher kicks the field goal, doesn't miss it, when we go down there and Jason Garrett has the boneheaded figuring that, well, Dak Prescott's throwing the ball great, so let's go ahead and run up the middle, even though Minnesota's been trying to stop it all night. See, this is where in-game analytics work. When your quarterback's hot and throwing for 447 yards, and your running back hasn't gotten 50 yards all night, and you need a score, you keep on going with what's hot. Instead, they run Zeke Elliott 2 times. We don't score. We lose the game. Had Maher kicked the field goal, all we would have needed was a field goal to win. You were in field goal position right there. Your quarterback led you down far enough to get in field goal range. You kick the field goal, you win that game. All of a sudden, you're 9-7. Boom. New England, bad weather, terrible rainstorm. The difference in that game was a special teams play where they blocked the punt. Are you going to blame Dak Prescott for that? Because you were in New England in bad weather. Douglas Carter, thank you for becoming part of the Mojo crew. Shout out to you. Make sure when you become a channel member, send me an email to CowboysMark94 so that way I can get your shot glass to you. So that way we can do shot. Oh, sorry. I get excited with that. That's 2 games right there. 2 plays change the whole season. You end up hitting that field goal. You end up preventing that block punt. You are 10-6 and in the playoffs. Flat out. It doesn't matter what happened in the Eagles' second game. But here we have people say, oh, I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo because they got a better record. It's not about the quarterback solely. As much as you think it's only about the quarterback, that's not the only equation. Because if that was the case, then Aaron Rodgers would have a Super Bowl every year. If that was the case, all you think that Tom Brady, should come here to Dallas, who had the number 1 defense. Let me say that again. He had the number 1 defense, and Tom Brady didn't get it done. So if he came here with our trash defense, what do you think? You think he's going to win the Super Bowl? When he had the number 1 and they're out in the first round? Really? Really? How about McCarthy? Oh, I'm excited. Hey, listen, I'm ready for the season right now. I can't wait till OTAs start and the players start getting around Mike McCarthy and this coaching staff. I'm hoping that what you typically see when you end up having a new coaching staff is you see the players kind of put on notice, and now we got to show for the new guy. We got to make sure that, we keep a job. And so old habits will be broken. This whole thing that we the hot boys and things, I think that's going to go away. It's going to be who's going to perform and and everybody's going to be held accountable. So that's where I'm excited. Young Wilson, shout out to you, man. Change is good sometimes. This will be good for us. And see, here's the thing. You almost have to change up for the sake of change. Everybody knew what the Cowboys were going to do on a regular basis. 9 times out of 10 on first down, it's going to be Zeke Elliott up the middle. You know that we're not going to do play action that much. You know that it's going to be second and long, and they're going to have to pass. There's very little disguising. I look at our defense. Usually our defense is set 10 seconds before the ball's called, snapped. And teams look at that and say, okay, that's the Mike linebacker. That's the middle of the field. It's soft there. Let's run it up the gut. Because we've done the same thing since the 90s, there's nothing. It's nothing different. Right now, you've got teams that have guys that are paid to do nothing but break down the film and understand everything that you do, every single tendency, what you're going to do on the 32-yard line on first down, second down, and third down. And Jason Garrett, who uses no in-game analytics, he's just like, well, we just call it from the gut. Man, get out of here. All these young guys are going to have to reprove themselves to McCarthy, no free rides. You're right about that. Defense does the same stunts. And unfortunately, the thing on my defense, you guys that know me, you know that I am about the big trash cans full of dirt. No, forget trash cans. I want something bigger. I want a roll-off dumpster full of gravel in the middle of the field. We have been soft up the middle. We can't put pressure on the middle. It was great when we had, our racing lizards, as Rod Martinelli has, guys that are 6'4", 6'6", that are about 260, 290 pounds. But the problem is teams realize after that Ram game in the playoffs that the Dallas Cowboys are susceptible to the runs up the middle, especially if you show pass. The Dallas Cowboys, because I got all these numbers in my head. The Dallas Cowboys, when a team was in shotgun, or when a team does play action on the Dallas Cowboys, and they run, they average 5.3 yards per run. Because here's the thing, the Cowboys being a stunning defense, you got D-Law trying to crash on the inside. You got Antoine Woods going on the outside. And teams know if we catch you in that stunt while you're trying to make those moves, you're getting blown out the hole and we're going to run for days. Sometimes you just have to have a big, fat, nasty, mean guy who's spitting out blood and wants to eat quarterbacks for dinner to stay in the middle. Just right there. You're not stunting. You're not moving. You're just going to hold your ground and keep the linebackers clean so they can make the plays. This is definitely true, Anita. Is Miss Anita in here? How you doing, Miss Anita? Amen, Devin. This is definitely true, Anita. Not expecting a Super Bowl by no means, but in my opinion, the talent is definitely much better. Well, it's a good thing that they've gotten this staff together now because we have a lot of decisions to make. You've got to figure out who's going to stay and who's going to go because we do have so many free agents. In my mind right now, I think you're going to hold on to a Joe Looney on the offensive line. You're going to let a Cam Fleming go because you got Connor Williams and you got Connor McGovern as far as the offensive line. But Joe Looney is a plug-and-play guy that can play center and guard. You still sign Amari Cooper. All this stuff that you don't want to pay him top dollar, but here's the reality. That guy changed the complexion of our season. That guy, still, even though he didn't play well away from AT&T, I believe that he was hurt a lot worse than what people let on. The Cowboys aren't always straight up on how people are. You remember Dak Prescott got hurt, in the game against the Rams. We didn't hear anything about it until Wednesday. And you could truly see that he did not practice the last 2 weeks of the season. It showed in that game against the Eagles. And the fact that we had a coach, let me make sure I get this right, that we had a coach who didn't understand that your quarterback is hurt and yet he still got him throwing 40 yards down the field, shows you how inept he was. Yeah, that's actually on my list. I forgot to get to, see, look, I had to go ahead and get to my list here, and I forgot to get to it. But let me, there's Raymond. Ray, this one's for you, buddy. Check this out. How you doing, Miss Anita? Bam. This one's to you guys, man. Time for round two. But listen, there is nobody who is more micromanaged that every single pass play is scrutinized like Dak Prescott. There is no quarterback out there that is perfect on every single throw. Yeah, quarterbacks miss some passes. But I got to tell you, back in the day, Poppy, if the ball is on your hands, what are you supposed to do? It was when you watch football, was every single pass perfect?
No.
But if it touched your hands, you're supposed to come down with it, right? That's right. Let's see, it's old school. You know, this thing now, see, a lot of you guys are pampered ass kids that expect everything to be perfect. Well, if it's not right here, then I'm not supposed to catch it. Man, you know, the one catch that Odell Beckham Jr. was known for, guess what? It was a terrible ass pass. He had to jump through the roof with one hand to catch it. Nobody said, you know, that's a terrible pass. Right? The pass to Dwight Clark. Man was throwing it out of bounds. Or it was thrown really high, but the man jumps up. Dwight Clark beats the Cowboys, makes the catch. Sometimes the pass isn't always perfect. You got a quarterback who's got literally a second and a half to make a decision and get the ball delivered to a spot that hopefully you're going to be there. You don't know if the receiver was late. You don't know if his route was off. You don't know if he got held up at the line. These are timing routes. And go through. Here's what I want you to do. You go through. If you can find a game where a quarterback had every single pass dead on perfect right here on the hands, I will give you $100 cash. I will. Because you will not ever, and I mean ever, find a game that every single pass is perfect anywhere by any quarterback. I don't care if you're talking about Joe Montana. I don't care if you're talking about Drew Brees. I don't care if you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if you're talking about Tom Brady. It does not happen. But what you have is you got receivers. Some of them, they got glue on their hands. And back in the day, you remember how the Raiders, like Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes, he just like covered himself with like stick 'em. Okay? Literally, the ball was like, just get a new ball. But receivers still need to make plays. If the ball is here in your hands, you're getting paid a boatload of money to do one thing. You got one job, and that's catch the damn ball. So anybody out there, let me say it again, $100 to anybody who can show me film of a quarterback who had a perfect game that not one single pass was off, was not dead on perfect. That was not literally right here between the numbers. Smash those like, Roger Dodger, how you doing, man? True, bring the cement wall back. Amen, Mark. Sometimes Dak's incomplete passes comes at bad moments in the game. Akeem, but see, here's the thing. I've seen some quarterbacks out there throwing passes in the dirt. Donovan McNabb threw passes in the dirt all the time. All the time. I've seen Tony Romo. Oh, you know what? How about this? Dak's incompletions may come at the wrong time. How about Tony Romo's interceptions would come at the wrong time? How about that? Because if you're going to go ahead and say that Dak's not perfect, Glenn Arrington, thank you very much for that $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Do you think the Eagles may be a bit worried about next season? They will be facing 3 divisional teams with new coaches and possibly 3 new schemes they haven't seen. I think so. Because here's the problem for the Eagles. And, you know, I don't talk about the Eagles much anymore because they don't come around anymore since they got their butt handed to them last week. It's amazing how when things were going good, they were here, but now they're kind of gone. But the Eagles, first place schedule, the draft pick isn't until the 26th. They're old. They have a lot of old guys. They don't have that much salary cap space. I think they're like 25, 26, whereas we're about 87. So there are going to be a lot of things that are going to be fighting against them. For us, in a way, you want to be in the playoffs. I really would have loved to have been in the playoffs. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I wish we had been in the playoffs. But getting rid of Jason Garrett, having the season bad enough that Jerry Jones appears to seem like he realizes I got to do something different. hiring Mike McCarthy, who has spent a year, in his garage with 14 other guys analyzing videotapes of every game, every team, and everything else. That he's now getting guys with experience as head coaches with winning teams. You got the John Fossil, who was the special teams coach with the Rams, who did an outstanding job, as opposed to the guy we just let go. You got to look at that and say, that's going to be an upgrade. You got to look at having Mike Nolan, as defensive coordinator over Rod Marnelli. Rod Marnelli, no disrespect to him, but he ended up coaching the Detroit Lions to 0-16. You had a rookie offensive coordinator who I think has promise but needs some time, led by a coach whose only experience was 1 year of being a quarterback coach for Nick Saban. You didn't exactly have a lot of experience with a lot of guys. Now you've got guys that have been all around the NFL and coming together where you're kind of putting together an all-star cast. And I got to tell you, if you look around, the haters are going to talk about the Cowboys and say, they didn't make a splash, this, that, and the other. No, I like what they did. No guarantee that it's going to work out, but I think they actually did the best that they could. Jason Garrett, press F if you miss me. How about we just tell you to read between the lines? Read between the lines, Jason. Just say it, Mark. Cowboys, I'm not going to go that far. We got to see. There's so many variables. There's so many things we got to figure out. Who are we going to pay? What kind of defense are we going to run? Where are we going to go in the draft? There's just a whole lot. Stop it, a polished turd. Dude lives in a perfect world. I don't live in a perfect world. I'm the guy who the glass is half full, who's thankful he's got a glass even half full. That's me. I'm not Mr. Pessimist. I got to say, I'm happy that we're not going to be talking about Jason Garrett. That alone has to be an improvement. Mike McCarthy, 13-10 in playoffs. Jason Garrett, 2-3, and 0-3 in play to get in games as well. So you might as well say his playoff record was really 2-6. How about that? I'll take what you got with Mike McCarthy any day. So Marco Colombo's out. Joe Philbin was hired for offensive line. Sanjay Lau, Mr. Cinder Blocks, having the guys run around carrying cinder blocks, he's gone. No word yet on who's going to be the coach there. Stan Drayton, Zeke Elliott's running back coach from Ohio. Apparently, we are in a bidding war with the Rams for that guy. The Cowboys definitely want him. The Rams definitely want him. We'll have to wait and see who gets him. Like I said, John Fossil is the special teams coach. And that, I think, will be an improvement. And I think the defense, a change of scenery is going to be good on that. My shot glass be full. It's full of piss, but at least I have a cup Holmes. Really? Okay. 13-3 talent, 3-13 coaching. There you go, Ethan. I'm with you on that one. You know what? How about this? Mike McCarthy has won as many playoff games at AT&T as Jason Garrett has won in his career, including a Super Bowl. How about that? No Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is going to be coming back. I'll take Mike McCarthy over Judge Joe, or Joe Judge. Rex, I haven't heard on Chris Richard. They've been kind of shady on that one. I heard that they wanted to talk to him, but I haven't heard anything more. Joseph, how are you doing tonight? Hopefully your migraines are gone. Hope all is well. You think Chris Richard and Kellen Moore will be gone? Kellen Moore, they wanted to bring back. Mike McCarthy actually likes Kellen Moore quite a bit. Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy asked for my playbook. I guess he needed some kindling. I'll take Mike McCarthy over Garrett, and he hasn't coached Dallas yet. Amen, Raymond. Kellen Moore, good stay. Ready to watch the Vikings beat the 49ers? Mark, is there a time limit to join? Oh, no, there's not a time limit. You can join anytime. Why am I mad we got a new coach? I don't know. Why are you mad? Would you rather have Jason Garrett? Are you family of Jason Garrett's? Than Chris Richard? I think Chris Richard, I don't think he's going to be coming back. Shout out to Mark. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. D-Law is fat and paid. Well, you know what? I hope D-Law saw Pizzle getting excited about Judge. Yeah, well, he also got excited, too, about Danny Dimes as well. I will be working behind the scenes and suggest him some of my plays. So, basically, you'll say, Mike, here's the play. Oh, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Kellen installs the play, Mike McCarthy calls him. Oh, Jason Garrett, I don't think he'll be at the Friday night party and things. I really just don't think you'll be. Well, then again, maybe you will be. Forgot, it's your family. And it's not like you're going to have a job. You'll be unemployed, so you'll have plenty of vacation time. D-Law's mama going to smack him around. I hope she smacks him around. Jason Garrett, I told you earlier this week you need to where you need to go. What's going to happen with Woods and the I don't know what's going to happen on that one. Well, here's what may happen. The NFL is still working on a collective bargaining agreement, and baseball just changed where they're not testing. I think it's baseball. Was it baseball or basketball? Somebody just decided they're not testing for it anymore, and I think that's what's going to happen with the NFL. That it'll be taken off the banned substance list. In which case, then you're good. Because guess who's on the competition committee for that? The negotiating committee for that. Jerry Jones. Did we block Victor again? I didn't, but somebody else might have. Basically, it was F off Jason Garrett from what we're hearing. Jane Slater reported that she had seen a text message that was basically F off Jason Garrett from one of the players. She didn't divulge which player or anything like that, but basically, it was somebody. Jane Slater announced earlier that she was going to be my next ex-wife. Okay, Roger Dodger. Good luck with that. Who's going to be our offense? It looks like Kellen Moore's going to still be it. Oh, and tomorrow, dudes. At least I got something to look forward to. JMU, the Dukes, are playing against North Dakota State for the national champion Division 1AA. So, any word on Kitna coming back? Yeah, Kitna is supposed to be coming back. So they're playing for the national championship in Division 1AA. So everybody, let's be a JMU Duke fan. When he comes back, I will. You see that Washington Redskin blanket over there? Shots, yeah. Kitna may be gone. And that's the one, I got to tell you, I really don't want to lose John Kitna. I think, no, Hector, I don't think that's a concern. I think he'll be speaking to him soon enough. But I think John Kitna, I actually look at Dak Prescott. The year before, all the sacks that he took, one, I think it was because he was looking for that security blanket like Jason Witten, that tight end, but didn't have that guy to throw to. But you could see his mechanics sometimes when he would get hurried. He'd get happy feet and he would throw off of his back foot, and he wasn't able to really step into the throws. It seemed like this year with John Kitna working with him, his mechanics were night and day different and so much better. And I'd really like to see him still here, but it is what it is. I might, Thomas. I'm going to be leaving here in the morning to go back home. It depends on what time I get back. You just love saving my name? Really? Jason Witten said he's going to make a decision quickly, but I think it's time for him to retire. I think having Mike McCarthy as the coach is the easy way to say we're moving on, as opposed to the Cowboys for too long have been the family business. They hired guys that were former players, or coaches that were former coaches to move them up. I think now finally we're running the business here, and you've got guys now who aren't tied to that legacy, that it'll be easier for them to make hard decisions, because then, Jerry Jones can say, well, it's not my decision. That's the coach over there. So it's better for the team not to feel like. You think about New England, who has been great for the last 20 years. There is no family in that. Everybody is expendable. Right now, Tom Brady is expendable. The one thing that doesn't change is that team. In fact, when they win Super Bowls, Bill Belichick turns the roster over, gets rid of 25% of the guys, just to make sure everybody stays on their toes. You saw what happened to the Eagles after they won the Super Bowl. They got fat and happy and figured that they were, entitled to good things to happen, but none of it did. Please tell you what Joe Boo means. Okay, Joe Boo is not actually here with me today, but watch the movie Major League. Classic baseball movie. And you'll understand exactly what Joe Boo means. Joe Boo is my voodoo doll, who's actually home in the locker. Dak should be $32 million a year. Philly 500 just got home, sent me a text message. He got a package today. He got Michael Anthony's belt and some other stuff. Mike McCarthy wants to hire Tony Romo. Okay. Dak $50 million. Oh, hell no. I love my boy Dak, but he ain't paying him $50 million. Not unless it's a 10-year deal. Witten wants the Super Bowl and knows they're close. Yeah, but, we got sold a bill of goods last year with him about, he was only going to play like 25 plays a game, and he ended up sucking up all the minutes. And at some points you could look at it and say that it hurt the team. Jason Garrett says, hello, Poppy.
Hey, buddy.
Love that movie. So that's where we are with Jason Garrett. So we got 5 minutes of funk left, and we're going to be out of here, and then Poppy can get back to watching TV without me talking over it. And where's Michael Anthony? Michael Anthony, here's the thing, man. I'm down here taking business on this end. Michael Anthony's actually down working at home on those shot glass racks. See, we're sending out the shot glasses, and we're going to be doing some special stuff with the shot glasses. See, right now we have our Spread the Mojo one. I think I'm going to take ideas from you guys on the next one, because these things are flying out the door. I literally just got a box of them, 4 boxes of them, 144 of them I got yesterday. 2 of the 4 boxes are already packed up and shipped out of here. So I'm going to have to order some more soon. So I was thinking we'll do some different design ones. And so I was trying to decide for you, Jason Garrett, because we love you so much, that maybe we would make one that would be, a shout out to you. And instead of saying Spread the Mojo on the back, we would say, I survived the Jason Garrett era. Thoughts? Or do we just put on it, shots, shots, shots? So give me your ideas on things that you may want to see as far as on the shot glasses, and we're going to do some different things with them. So we're going to have fun with it. So you may want to get the shot racks. And if you do, my website, cowboyjoeboo.com, there's been, I think, 5 or 6 of them that were ordered today. If you go on that website, go all the way, cowboyjoeboo.com. Go all the way down. You'll see the listing there for shot glasses and things. If you don't want to be a member, and that's fine too, but you still want a shot glass, the shot glasses are there for sale too. So that's another way. And what we're trying to do with the channel, I am working on some stuff that's going to be really big with Collector's World. Collector's World is the guys who ended up taking care of like Joseph Heavley's and Zeppelin fans banners that I've got downstairs. They are a collector, and they not only have their store, which is in Northern Virginia, they also sell stuff online. Right now, there's a Tony Dorsett rookie card as well as a Bob Lilly rookie card that are up for auction. I think those are on until Sunday, so you can definitely check them out. They're going to be actually building a new spot that's going to be 4 times the size. They're going to have a grand opening, and I'm working on some stuff with Cowboys Experience, Collectors World, and my boy Jet D is talking about doing some of that pulled pork that my wife's about to leave me for, and doing a major event this spring that you guys will definitely want to be part of. And so the membership and the super chats and things like that, buying the shelves, are all going towards helping to grow the channel and having us to have more and more events. We had an incredible tailgate at FedEx Field. We had about 400 youth great fans that were there. We're going to be doing one also at Baltimore against the Ravens, and we may even go up to New York City depending on what time of year or what the temperature is going to be like at the Giants. And I might even get brave and go up there and just bitch slap the Eagles. You guys are funny. I survived. Yeah, hell yeah, I survived Carrot Top, Jason. Actually, yeah, I survived Carrot Top. That made me sound better. Mark, can you block him? Well, you know what? Let's just let him have his fun. He needs love too, man. He needs love too. All right. So, and one other thing we're going to be doing too, I'm going to work on it this weekend. We're going to be doing something new. We're going to be doing our regular live streams on Fridays nights and Monday nights. But for the members, we're going to have a members only overtime that will go after our regular live stream for members only. So shout out to everybody that's in here. Let me go ahead and thank you guys so much. If you got a shot glass, and that's my father-in-law's belly right there. Okay. Let me play the clip. Candy. You killing me at that, yeah. All right, so if you haven't had a chance to send a shot glass pictures in, don't worry. Keep sending them on in. I'm going to keep on adding them and everything else because, you know, we started something. I didn't think that this was going to grow as much as it had. But for me, it's great because so many people have helped me to make this channel what it is. I could not do it without the support from you guys. And for me, at least getting you guys a shot glass in your hands so that way we can kind of say, you know what, the Cowboys won. And, you know, when they do get to that Super Bowl, what we'll be able to do is we'll all be able to grab our shot glass and we'll be able to do maybe not. Hold up. Well, damn. I thought I had it. I guess we won't be able to, but we'll be able to go, how about them Cowboys? And we can all toast each other, or, sadly, if we lose, keep the faith, brother. But as always, I want to thank everybody for being here, for supporting the channel. And it's time to turn out the lights, man. Grab your shot glass, because it's time to go to bed. I will see you guys in the morning.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The
Thank you.
party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.